test run on the live stream. Wanted to talk about quick today was memorials. We see so many memorials for all these different lies that we've been told. And I think it's kind of important that we start thinking about preserving the true history. Because how are we going to defeat people that have set their lies in stone? If the people in the future don't know the lies because of future brainwashing and the intense brainwashing that's been going on, and all the memorials they're going to come across throughout this country, how are they going to know the truth? We have to start discussing how we can leave an impact on our history so that people in the future can at least start to question, hey, why are they saying, this about that situation or that about this situation, and question it so that maybe people in the future will wake up and realize that they've been lied to. So it does need to be done, whether we can figure out how to maybe raise money to put up a monument. My plan is this. I would like to get something going so we can maybe buy a small piece of property and then put up a good-sized stone monument that's watched on CCTV, on closed circuit TV and hooked to the internet so anybody can see it at any time, and be able to watch that monument so it can never get defaced or whatever. Because here's the thing, if it's videotaped and it's shown defaced and we can show this, we can make it into a big news story if it ever happens. So they don't want that lie. They don't want that story of the truth being out there. So it's a way of combating history, because our history has been so lied and they are just putting their bullshit into stone. And that doesn't make, much sense when it's just lie after lie after lie. But if we could put our own history, the real history, mention the truth about 9/11, list the names of people and groups that are behind it, why they did it, how they're involved, just a little story on stone, engraved and preserved. Because once we imprint the truth on history, it makes it harder for lies to happen in the future. So I'd like to see something done like that. That would actually be kind of nice. It's not easy to do these things, but you have to ask yourself, look at people like, let's say, Henry David or Robert David Steele, and all that money he collected and never did anything, and all these other people that collected money that never did anything. If they actually cared about the truth, they would, give you something back for your money. I see so many people out there collecting donations, and you don't get nothing. They just kind of take your money and, next thing you know, they're driving a new car or whatever. That's not appropriate. If you're going to donate money online out there, you got to make sure you're getting something back. Some people do it the right way. Like I do support when people do it the right way. Zach's out there charging $5 for a book. I looked at the book. I think it's worth more than $5. Stuff like that. That's perfectly respectable to do. But if there's people out there collecting money and they're telling you this and that and some other bullshit story, this or that, don't give them no fucking money, because they always end up stealing the money and you're not getting. So, if I'm going to do something, I want to make sure that people are only paying for something they're getting. They're getting something back. And history, getting back history. Well, I can't think of anything better than, real history. If you look through time and look at some of the people that donated independent libraries in different areas, not like the Rockefellers, not like any of these, weird groups that built libraries, but like independent. There's been some places in like small towns or whatever where a person had donated and built libraries, and throughout our history. And those people, they were able to preserve history a little bit in those areas for a while. Of course, we see that being destroyed now, but that tradition of giving people true history needs to continue so that we can fight tyranny. Because a totally loss of history, of true history, is complete tyranny, because they control so much of our lives and the narratives that if there's no truth out there to be found by the people, it won't be found. It won't be found at all. And that's not fair. That's not fair to us. Not fair to we the people. We deserve the ability to at least question our authority, and that questioning, that little, I guess you call it trigger to a question, that awakening to question authority needs to be preserved somehow. So at least, maybe, building a monument is not a bad idea. A library would be a great idea, but that would be so expensive. A library of truth. Just imagine if somewhere there was a library of truth, where there were computers that weren't connected to the internet that just stored all kinds of information on the truth and everything that people in the truth movement are building. Imagine a library filled with all the books that are getting thrown out or destroyed. Imagine that. A place where people can go to find the truth if they really want to research something. That would be brilliant. But these kind of ideas need to be discussed, because if we don't preserve the truth, only the lie is going to exist, because they are taking time to preserve the lie. They're spending a lot of money. There's memorials all over the place. I was looking at today, this big memorial, built 2 towers, bullshit towers at the FBI Academy. So what is that telling you? That every person that comes to Quantico to join the FBI is going in there thinking the story, the narrative that everybody was told is the truth. So literally the FBI hires only the dumbest of the dumb. And this is why this stuff continues. Because we saw with these recent, bombings, there's a problem with the FBI. They're not exactly honest people. And it's got to be a case of, not just that there's a higher echelon of people that are being dishonest, but the lower part of it that are just stupid to go along with it. So, if we don't start preserving history for we the people, these are the kind of people that are going to control the narratives in the future. And I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. To me, history is so important. So important, because the clues of our past, the clues they left us, tell us, what's going on today. And we need to preserve some clues for people in the future to find out what they may be facing in the future and the groups that they may be having to deal with. If we can give them a shortcut to the truth, that sure is going to make it a lot easier. And not only that, it makes it a lot harder when you start preserving the truth now. It makes that a lot harder for them to start lying in the future. Or not start lying. It's not like they ever started. It's like they never stopped. But it could help maybe stop them from lying if we start taking the time to learn how to preserve the truth. So that's just something I'm throwing out there. This is also just a test run on the live thing here. So we'll see how it goes. And if it works out good, we'll try some more. All right? Use your brain. Think. Challenge things. Question everything.